I'm Phillip Guildner. My school ID here. Here's my audience. And this is my persuasive speech. The purpose of this speech is to inform the audience that outsourcing is destroying America's economy. We hear it on TV, we've all heard it on the radio, we see it and read about it on the internet. The American economy is dying out. Ever since the early days of George W. Bush being in office, America has been no stranger to economic hardships. With the attacks in 2001, that was a major blow to our economy that caused a lot of economic stress. But one major source that's overlooked, that's causing the problems with our economy, is outsourcing. Why does America need less outsourcing? Outsourcing boasts cheaper prices in the end, but puts American workers in the unemployment line. We've all seen it. Our friends, our family, our co-workers, even ourselves. According to a March 2006 article posted on the site sweet101.com, which is a news site, more American companies are shipping jobs to India, while the employees of those companies here at home are being laid off. They have no source of income, they face debt, and they face an unsure future. Less jobs in America means a higher cost of living. Take the city of Elkhart, Indiana, for example. They were a major supplier and manufacturer of RVs for the entire country. When their company outsourced all their jobs, the people were out of work. Mass layoffs happened. People couldn't afford anything. President Obama himself had to visit Elkhart, Indiana to survey the damage. Outsourcing reduces the quality of goods and services, as well as how they're presented. I'm sure everybody remembers the days when you could go to an electronics store or a computer store and pay over $1,000 for a brand new computer, and you got what you paid for. These days, you pay a little less than that. Your computer lasts maybe a couple of months to a year before it starts having all kinds of problems, and you have to deal with poorly trained tech support that's not even in this country. These major American companies that have outsourced their jobs have experienced a very high customer turnover. That's mainly been because their employees in India, China, aren't very well trained. They don't have skills to correct the problems that these products have. You might ask yourself, how does outsourcing cause or contribute to America's economic problems? When a company outsources to a foreign country, The American employees are laid off. The result is the loss of a community's main source of income. Also, loss of business, high crime rate. It's caused a lot of these small towns and sometimes parts of major cities to turn into virtual ghost towns. Outsourcing of all American jobs affects the U.S. trade deficit as well. Other countries rely on us for goods that they can't get at home. We rely on them for goods they can't get where they are. Without jobs to sustain the economy, Americans will have no money for everyday expenses. The government won't have money for things that we need to build communications equipment or build the cars that we drive every day, or even build the equipment that saves our lives. Without a steady income, Americans turn to the government for assistance. As a result, the government has to raise taxes, and everything else gets more expensive just so that they can cover the extra money needed to cover the people who need government assistance. You might ask yourself how the American people can protect their jobs and breathe life into this dying economy. It starts with the everyday American who's just trying to make ends meet. The government needs to know what kind of despair this country's falling into. Towns and cities that have been hit the hardest by outsourcing should notify all levels of government. If they don't know, they can't help us. Those who have or are in jeopardy of losing their jobs and their homes should voice their concerns to Congress and even the local governments. The American government should stop and look at their approach in the matter of fixing our economy. After all, spending money when there isn't any to fix a problem never solves anything. Instead of spending money on bailouts, stimulus packages, and buying out major automotive corporations, the government needs to step in and restrict the amount of outsourcing and bring back our jobs. Rather than buying car manufacturers, we need to focus on creating more jobs for those who have lost theirs. You might ask, how can less outsourcing improve the economy? With fewer companies being shipped overseas, there's more money coming into the economy. With fewer unemployed Americans, there's more business and more contribution. The economy grows. More jobs in the U.S. means less spending and better quality products. The less we spend on running our companies from abroad, the more we can spend on rebuilding our nation. With a more stable economy, even trade between the United States and the rest of the world can be made much easier. The bottom line is that we can't wait for somebody to fix the economy for us. When we wait for someone to do the job for us, we only dig our grave deeper. Outsourcing is a needed thing, but should be regulated to preserve our country and ensure a brighter future for our children. After all, if we continue the way we are, what chance do they have? Thank you.